This is Larry Williams, and what a thrill it is for me to be back on StockCharts.com. We've had quite a year here with the indicators and the shows I've done on StockCharts.com. A lot of feedback from you people. I've really enjoyed it. I'd now like to talk to you about the Santa Claus rally. It's real, but it's not quite what people think. I'd like to explain that to you today and share that with you. First of all, here is the seasonal pattern of the Dow Jones Industrial Average going all the way back to 1959. And as you can see, at around the 16th of the month, prices usually rally for the rest of the month, almost into the new year at times. So indeed, there is a Christmas rally. But again, it's not quite what people think it is. So I want to build on that, explain this Santa Claus rally to you. Now, what causes it is Christmas sales, obviously. And what you need to keep in mind is it takes money to create Christmas sales. Folks must have cash or a job or credit, or they don't buy things at Christmas. Make sense? Sure does to me. So that's important to know what's in the consumer's mind and what's in the consumer's pocketbook. Well, if we look at unemployment right now, as you can see, at the first of the year, unemployment went way up, and it's consistently come down and down and down. So people are getting back to work, they're getting jobs, so they should have some money in their pocket for Christmas sales this year. We can also look at wage growth tracker from the Federal Reserve, which shows really the amount of money people are being paid. And the gray lines that you see here, the bars, are recessions. And typically when we see a recession, we see a loss of income level for some time after the recession. And usually it peaks prior to the recession. Well, the last couple of years, we've been holding pretty much the same place. So there has not been a significant decline in wage growth. It's about back and forth, but no big major decline, which would again indicate to me people have money to shop this Christmas. Now, here's an interesting insight into the Christmas rally. It's even better in election years. Here's the seasonal pattern from election years only going back to 1950. Again, it doesn't matter if it's a Democrat or Republican. These are election years, what happens. And you can see the markets closely follow that pattern this year. The markets really follow the blue line. That's what usually happens in election years. And it looks like December, as almost always, moved higher, the Santa Claus or Christmas rally. So stocks do rally at Christmas. I'm going to give you some specific trading strategies for this right now. By the way, if you like what you see on StockCharts.com, because we do put that on a YouTube channel as well, on their YouTube channel, if you like what I see, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. That's okay. And if you don't like or don't understand what I talk about, make a note. I do try to visit the site and come in and reply to questions that people have asked, or if there's confusions, or some people have some really deep probing questions about what I'm showing. So feel free to do that as well. Okay, so what I did, I developed an interesting strategy many years ago, which I call my trading day of the month, or TDOM. And I look at each month and what happened if you were to buy on a specific trading day of the month, not calendar day. Calendar days are different because the 10th calendar day might be the 6th trading day, depending on holidays and weekends and what day the month starts on. So by making my trading day of the month concept, we've equalized all of the trading days of each month. Well, for December, it's really remarkable. If you were to buy on the 11th trading day of December, in the last 22 years, you're 83% of the time that trade was profitable. I'm just going to hold it for 11 days. If you buy on the 12th trading day, you're again 78% profitable, make $25,000. And buying on the 16th trading day, I'm going to show you what the 16th trading day is in a moment here. Again, almost $25,000 and pretty limited drawdowns, considering that we didn't use a stop at all for those trades. So clearly, demonstrate, we can see in the data itself, prices do rally at Christmas time. Of course, we need to have a disclaimer. There's no representation that what I'm going to show you today will be successful or will hold up in the future, because we're looking at past data, and the future is often the same as the past, but not always. There's basically no guarantees in this in the market, and if you don't know that, you probably shouldn't be trading the markets. The markets are subject to a lot of randomness, and there certainly is risk involved when it comes to trading. This is another interesting point to me. Credit charge. You charge a lot of sales on credit charges. And look at credit charge delinquency rate. Went way up in the last recession we saw, but look what it's done now, this is really interesting. It's come down. People have liquidated debt on credit cards. That's remarkable. Now, they probably use some of the stimulus money from the government, maybe for whatever reason, but this is a huge indication of the economy and that people can charge things on their credit cards this Christmas, which would indicate to me we're going to have good Christmas sales. We can see debt has been liquidated. Look over here, how debt has been liquidated this time, just as it was last year in 2008 after the recession. So a combination of people aren't being delinquent on their credit cards, and we've seen debt liquidated, sets up our first trading opportunity in Visa, the big credit card company of them all. Notice that Visa has a very strong seasonal pattern. That's what you see in blue down here. It actually starts to decline about now. So while you'd think there might be a Christmas rally in Visa, in fact, most of the time it's declined from around November into the latter part of the year. But then this is the Christmas rally people don't know about. Visa rallies the first part of the year, probably because investors are saying, oh, a lot of people use credit cards this year. Visa's going to make money off that. And the stock has consistently rallied the first part of the new year. So it's probably a very short-term sell right now, but in terms of a longer-term trading position, yes, coming up the first part of the year, Visa has typically rallied. Now, another thing that really strikes me as being positive about Christmas sales this year is retail sales. This is a year over year. That means we're looking at Christmas sales this year versus a year ago. What percentage are they up or down? There's the 2008 recession. Oh, here's what we did this year. Look how we crashed, but immediately came back. So retail sales have picked up year over year, which certainly indicates consumers are out there and they're shopping somewhere, someplace. Look what they're doing online. Almost 15% of all retail sales are now being done online. It actually got up to almost 17% earlier this year as the epidemic hit. Everyone started buying online instead of in sales. It's come down a little bit now, but my gosh, guys and gals, look at the trend line. This is the wave of the future. We are going to see a lot more online sales, retail sales, everything. So we need to keep that in mind, being long-term investors, that there is a fundamental change in the way people buy, where they shop, how they shop, and what they buy. Well, when you think of online sales, you've got to think of Amazon. Now, interestingly enough, Amazon does not have the Christmas rally. You can see what usually happens, usually from September into the middle of December, the stock doesn't go anyplace, and that's about what's happening this year. Then it starts to pick up, particularly later in the first quarter of the coming year. So you would expect that Amazon would get really strong this time of the year. It hasn't in the past, and it hasn't this year either. Interesting observation. So we say this is probably a stock we don't want to look for the Christmas rally. This is the exposure to the Christmas rally. It is a very selective rally, and it's a very short-term rally, as you're going to see. But if you want to buy Amazon, the seasonal rally or Christmas rally that it has is from right at the end of December into the first part of February, and then the rally is over. So that's a strong seasonal trade coming up in Amazon starting right at the end of this month, not before Christmas. Well, again, stocks rally at Christmas. So I really want to focus on this trading day 12 to the 12th and the 16th of the month. That's usually when we start to rally, but notice around the 21st of the month is when prices really get strong. So typically in December, we come down, bounce around, back and forth, flat, starting on the 16th, and then around the 21st, we really start to take off. Can we as traders take advantage of that? Oh yeah, you bet we can, and I'd like to show you how. Again, going back to my best trading day of the month concept, if you were to have bought the S&P E-minis on the 16th trading day of the month, that's right here, in the last 22 years, 100% of those trades were successful. I'm using a stop loss here of $2,100 and exiting on the first profitable opening after being in the trade one day. But you're going to see this trade has some legs to it as well. Notice that we get into trading day 14, 15. Look at all the green line, all the green numbers that appear here. That's pretty exciting. There's a real strong, typical seasonal pattern. Now, this is nothing new. When I first got in the stock market way back in 1962, an author, Art Merrill, who became a friend of mine, had written a book about the seasonal factors that stocks rally at Christmas time. So this has been going on since the 1960s. I've seen this from 1962 forward in my trading career, and it's still there. Stocks rally at Christmas. The optimal time is buying on the 16th trading day of the month. And let's look at how many days we can hold that trade. If we hold that trade for 3 days, we're going to make $21,000, but our accuracy goes down a little bit. It slips to 95%. But again, we notice trading day 14, 15, 16, a lot of green numbers there. Strong place for short-term trades in the market. The best trading opportunity is how long can we hold this trade? Does it have legs, or is it just like a random pop in the market and disappears? Well, no, not actually, because if we hold it for 6 trading sessions, we make 90% accuracy, making $24,000, almost $25,000, 95% accuracy at $18,000. So notice the longer we hold this trade, up to about 7 or 8 days, the more money we make. So clearly this trade has legs, which is really important when you look at seasonal trades. Do these things last, or is just the statistical anomaly freak in the marketplace? No, clearly it isn't. Stocks do rally at Christmas. Trading day 11 has also been a good trading day. The 11th trading day of the month, 90% accuracy, making $26,000. Again, that's with a 6-day hold. So clearly we see there is a trading opportunity there for us. So I thought you might like to see this. Here are the trading days of the month in red. This is, of course, the December calendar. Monday, this Monday, the 7th of December, is the 5th trading day of the month. The 16th trading day is the 22nd. The 11th day we looked at is the 15th of December. So this calendar can help you look at the trading days of the month for December with what we just saw a moment ago, right? We looked at the trading days of the month. The best trading days of the month, trading day 2 and 3 are pretty good. Trading day 11, trading day 16. You want to know when those are? Well, we're just going to have to refer to the calendar. There they are for you. Now you know the trading days of the month. We have a cycle forecast indicator in StockCharts.com, and I thought you might enjoy seeing this. This is a 2-hour chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. You can see our cycle forecast, which forecast out 66 bars in advance, says we're going to probably dip in here coming until about, look at that, around the 16th, 17th of the month, and start to rally again. So our short-term cycle forecast, which pretty well as the market has followed, also suggests a buy point coming up just about the same time that I've been talking about. Well, so yes, Virginia, there really is a Santa Claus, and that Santa Claus really does come to Wall Street. But like I said, there's a little bit more to this Santa Claus rally than you might think of. I thought you might enjoy this. This is a 2020 forecast. The red line is a line that we sent out to our readers last December 2019, said this was the path that we expected the market to follow in 2020, and it's pretty much exactly what happened. We missed a big decline a little bit, but certainly, as you know from StockCharts.com, we bought the absolute low in this market, and the market has followed this upward path. I've been working at doing it for 2021. If you're interested in that forecast report, go to ireallytrade.com and join our email list, and when the forecast report is ready, we will let you know. What sells at Christmas? This is an interesting question because that's probably what people will be buying, and those companies should be profiting. So the big thing, of course, is candy and toys and clothing and huge jewelry. Most jewelry is sold at Christmas time, and electronics. Everybody's going to get whatever the latest electrical gizmo is. It used to be electric sharpening knives, and now it's games or televisions or whatever. And of course, alcohol, Christmas cheer. With that in mind, let's take a look at some of those stocks, like Hershey, big candy company. I wish we could trade Mars. That's the world's biggest candy company, not a public company. So what we see in Hershey is this stock has a good seasonal pattern. You can see it in the blue line, to rally from now into the first of the year. So the seasonal Santa Claus rally does come to Hershey, the big candy company, and it has some legs to it. If we look at toys, however, look at this. Toys rally at Christmas time, usually starting around October, but then starting about now, the Christmas rally fades. Either all the toys have been sold or investors say, oh, they probably will have sold all the toys and they're not going to sell any toys in January, February. And in the past, traditionally, Mattel has declined. That's the other part of the Christmas rally that you haven't been told about. There is indeed a Christmas rally, but there's a Christmas decline as well. Here's Mattel on our cycle forecast. Again, this is also available in StockCharts.com. It forecasts out 66 days. It also suggested the low in here, which we saw, the rally that we're seeing, but it also suggests we should start looking for an opportunity for this market to go down. If you're long this market, sell strength, and of course have tight trailing stops. L Brands, this is women's clothing. Most of you guys know this as what? Victoria's Secret. And again, look at this, Victoria's Secret rallies prior to Christmas, but shortly before Christmas, it declines. Most all of the time it has declined after Christmas. So sure, there's a seasonal Christmas rally, but it comes earlier than people think. That's what you probably weren't aware of. It's very popular in the media right now to hear about the Christmas rally. Well, yeah, hold on. It started back here and it's about over in a lot of these companies. Shopper sipping habits. What happens when you go shopping? Most everybody goes to Starbucks. We talked about this last year when I did a special forecast for StockCharts.com that we typically see a seasonal rally until just about now, a little after Thanksgiving, and then Starbucks declines. So yeah, there's a Christmas rally, but it's not quite the rally that people think of. Here's our Starbucks cycle forecast. A buying point coming in here, a rally until just about now. Cycles that we can measure in StockCharts.com, as well as the seasonal, and that's the blue line, the typical seasonal pattern, also suggests the Christmas rally in Starbucks is about over. We do have some indicators in StockCharts.com. We have the cycle forecast. You just saw the seasonal pattern. We also have my measure of insider accumulation, the money flow index, sentiments. We know what the advisor are too bullish or too bearish, and will trend is a great trend following tool. All those are in StockCharts.com. If you have it, you can go look at those indicators. While this is the season for jewelry, jewelry has most all their sales in July, wedding time, a little bit before July, and most all the sales at Christmas time. So there should be a huge impact, a seasonal tendency for stocks of companies that sell jewelry. And indeed there is. And here's the biggest one in jewelry, Signet Jewelers. And look at the seasonal pattern. We talked about this last year as well. In StockCharts.com, we rally until just about now. And this is so interesting to me because the media is hyping the Christmas rally now. And I do think stocks will rally. The majority of stocks, the averages, the S&Ps will rally, but it's a market of stocks. It's not just a market average. Individual stocks like we've seen, don't all go to the end of the year in the rally, especially the jewelry stocks. Look at Signet. It's setting up for a sell. We look at our cycle forecast. It also suggests a little bit more of this rally, and then we start to move to the downside. So that's usually what happens in the jewelry stocks. Well, another big jewelry stock is Movada, MOV. And look at the seasonal pattern of MOV. Yes, it rallies, but then about now it goes down. But that's what actually has happened in the marketplace. This is something I'm making up. We're able to look at the data with our seasonal indicators, see how things have really traded, so we get a sense of how they might trade in the future. How about shopping malls? You know, shopping malls used to be so much fun. Oh, you go out, you buy caramel corn and hot dog on a stick and shop and see your friends. And the last time I went to a shopping mall, there was hardly anything there. But there are shopping mall countries where people do shop, like Target, a big one, right? And again, Target has a nice Christmas rally until about now. And then it goes down. So there's a pre-Christmas rally and a around Christmas decline in the marketplace. How about Best Buy or Bed Bath & Beyond? Same thing. Christmas rally, we're not rallying much this year, and then a decline. Now, this is what I really like to see, a stock that is weaker than the seasonal rally. It should be stronger in here. particularly, it's been higher between here and here, and it's not this year. So that's an ideal setup because it's weaker than the seasonal pattern. So I really like to be focusing on this stock as a short sale. Can you believe that? We start with a Christmas rally, and I'm talking about short sales, but you see that, in fact, that actually exists. And here is Best Buy. Same thing, Christmas rally, yep, until about now. And then year in and year out, it declined. So yes, Virginia, there is a Christmas rally, but Virginia, you better be careful. It doesn't last forever. As Paul Harvey used to say, and now the rest of the story. I'm probably dating myself. Some of you don't even know who Paul Harvey was, but if you don't, go pick him up on YouTube or someplace. A great wit, some wonderful inspirational stories. But now you know the rest of the story about the Christmas decline. Yes, it rallies. Here's Best Buy. It rallies, and then Christmas rally and the New Year fall. So what happens, I know my trading errors, maybe not yours, but one of my big trading errors, I hold on to things too long. You know, I have too much hope, too much faith, too much optimism. Oh, dangerous thing for traders to possess those traits. So you need to know this Christmas rally doesn't last forever. And a lot of these stocks, it actually starts to decline prior to Christmas, not in the averages, but in these retail companies that we've looked at, that clearly is the fact of life. Walmart, biggest retailer in the world. Oh, look, same thing. Yes, Christmas rally, but the Christmas after the fact, the decline or around Christmas. Macy's, here's Macy's, seasonal low. We rally up to about now, and then Macy's year in and year out has come down. That's how these things actually trade. So again, yes, there's a Christmas rally, but as Paul Harvey would say, and the rest of the story, you better get out around Christmas or just a little bit before in the retail companies because they then start to decline. Here's our Macy's cycle forecast, which suggested a low here, a sell-off here, a low here. And again, we have a vision going out for the next 3 months using the cycle forecast technique, but we're just real close to seeing Macy's start to top out and work to the downside. Isn't it nice to have a view of a potential roadmap of the future? I've spent almost 60 years now trying to figure out how to do this, and I really have always wanted that. Just a general idea of where prices are going. It doesn't have to be specific and won't always be 100% correct, but to have a better view than anybody else in the market is really helpful for trading. You saw, we know we want to be a buyer in trading day 11, trading day 16 in December for short-term traders. We have visibility. We're not lost in the woods. We know where we're going. Costco, another major retail. I love Costco, but right here, right now, it's had its Christmas rally, and this is when Costco starts to usually decline. What if we go to the low end? Dollar Tree, public company, Christmas rally, yeah, then same phenomenon, isn't it? Exact same thing. Yes, we get a Christmas rally, and then we get the hangover effect, if you will, and we see prices start to decline. Christmas cheer alcohol, right? Well, this is Budweiser. Budweiser usually sells off starting about August all the way into the end of the year. And then at the end of the year, it starts to rally around the first part of the year. So this year it's been rallying a little bit. We should start to see it pick up. And then later in the year, it starts to rally. Another alcohol company is Diageo. I looked at Diageo for you. I couldn't really find any strong seasonal pattern. It strikes me, though, that there should be a strong seasonal pattern in some of the alcoholic beverage, maybe indexes or ETFs. I'll let you look at those on your own, but I think clearly they must be there, and it's something that we should be looking for. Santa delivers. He's got all his little helpers. Whoa, who delivers the stuff for Santa Claus? Of course, United Parcel Service. And look what we see. The Christmas rally and the Christmas decline. We talked about this also last year on StockCharts.com in my December show. We got the rally just as we talked about last year. And now we start to see the decline in Santa's little helpers that brings all that stuff. Knock, knock on your door. UPS is here, right? Oh, it's a great pre-Christmas rally and an after-Christmas decline. How about FedEx? Look at this. They do about the same business, right? And right here, right now, that's about when the seasonal pattern ends. We've had the rally prior to Christmas, but these particular stocks don't have a Christmas rally that goes on forever. In fact, close to Christmas, it's about all over for us, right? And the Reindeer Express. Everybody used to at least fly. Not this year, many people are flying, but we flew Delta, we flew American, the largest airline in the world. And yeah, look at this. About October, Delta has always rallied and then it declines. So yeah, again, we see there is a Christmas rally, but don't hold on too long because look what happens to Delta then. It starts to decline. So that means this year it's a little late for the buying opportunity, but clearly, if you're long this market, you want to have pretty tight trailing stops here, looking for targets, and potential short sellers can start looking for short sales of about now or maybe right after the first of the year. Again, thanks to tools and techniques, we have visibility of what most likely will happen in the future. And here's American Airlines, the same thing that we saw in Delta, all these airlines. It's rallying again this year, but it's just about to the point where usually after the Christmas people have flown home and back and all that stuff, nobody flies in January, and the price of American Airlines, just like the price of Delta Airlines, has gone down. When I was doing work on American Airlines, I got real excited about something. I should have figured this out earlier. Here's the Dow Jones Transportation Average, looking all the way into next year. And the blue line is a cycle forecast and pretty cyclical market. So it looks to me like the transportations, which would be airlines, trains, anybody that's in the transportation business, we're probably going to see a decline until the first part of February, and then we could have a cyclical low come in. So again, confirmation. So what I really like to see is I get a market set up. The seasonals there, commitment traders are there, there's no accumulation in the market. I still don't rush right in and sell it. I like to see 3 or 4 things supporting the trade, right? And what we're seeing here is, oh yeah, the transportation index also is set up for a cyclical high in the market, which then fits in with what we saw for Delta, fits in what we saw with American Airlines. Now, here's something really interesting in American Airlines. The red line you see are crude oil prices. And that gives us a visibility quite a while in advance. This high that we see in the crude oil indicator for American Airlines was known 3 months in advance that, prices should go down. And they did until about here when the crude oil indicator started to move back to the upside, and now American Airlines has started to move back to the upside. Intermediate basis, though, first quarter of the year, it's going to come back down, then have a rally maybe starting around April, somewhere in that time period. So you see how we can combine cycles with seasonals to set up trading opportunities for us. And that's really the strength, I think, of making ourselves better traders, that we don't buy just because of a news story, just because of one indicator. We're buying for real reasons in the marketplace. And I think that's what's going to make you a much better trader, to think about this stuff and to check it in advance. We all heard about the Christmas rally, but now I've exposed the other part of it. Yeah, there's a Christmas rally, but it doesn't long as last as most people think it's going to last, and can turn into a Christmas decline in a lot of these markets. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's presentation. And again, if you did, and you see this on YouTube, thumbs up. Don't like it, thumbs down. If you have questions, make a comment, because I do visit those and try to reply if there's something that's a little confusing or not quite as clear to you. I wish you a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2021. I'd like to thank all of our friends at StockCharts.com for allowing me to come on. What a privilege this has been for me to do this year. So to everybody, Merry Christmas to you, with good luck and good trading.